This broadcast is brought to you by CTMS. CTMS Travel, the official travel partner of Major League Rugby. Stop managing travel, start moving. Well, today, 2 1-3 teams square off. They are currently bottom of the league, and Robin Kaluzniak, our head official, has the responsibility to make sure everybody plays fair and on time. He's joined by Federico Anselmi and Cam Russell. Two of the most successful franchises in Major League Rugby squaring off today in Quincy. Both had slow starts to their seasons. New England got the home win last week against Anthem. They return back to Quincy, Mass, and try to get started with a big offensive break. And for Ryan Martin and this coaching staff, they felt like last week they started to really put a lot of things together, Alicia, markedly in their attack and defense as well. They scored 5 tries and only let up 4 out of Anthem, so Anthem does go away with that bonus point, but really strong showing last week against the boys from Carolina.
Super strong showing. You want to make sure that both these teams know they need to find a way to score points. And if you look at the stat sheet, both teams are sitting at about high 20s in their conversion rate in their 22, and I think they just need to find a way that once you get even inside your 10, you need to come away with points. There's some really strong kickers on both sides that can get you some points on penalties. So whether it's 5 or 3 or 7, you got to come away with some points for both sides.
Wait for it. Down.
New England is actually statistically the best kicking team in the MLR, most frequent as well. 27 in play and gained 775 meters. You see it there in an instance where
right there's good.
Seattle, with a bit of a depleted roster, has made a big change. You mentioned with the 9 and 10. This is the first start at scrum half for JP Smith. Or excuse me, for JP Smith and Andre Warner, his first career start at fly half.
Stay 2 meters, hooker.
What's going to be key today for you as you look to both of these offenses, Alicia?
Both of them need to build on their strengths. So Seattle, some of the best line-out percentages in the league, and that's both attacking and defensive. You see them just line out there. And my next thing was going to be discipline. Discipline from both sides. No easy outs here, no easy points from the other side. Let's have a look at this again. Referee just happy there that New England was not onside while the kick was being taken. I think that was a pretty easy call. But yeah, both teams just need to find discipline in a way to stay tight, stay together, and not let the other side get any easy outs, any easy points, or easy territory.
Yes. That one, obviously, the ball's not out.
Some early damage to both sides, at least minorly. See Nathan Salmon there.
Let's worry about what we need to worry about. You do your job.
Ignacio Piculo there for Seattle. Piculo, the 29-time capped
You telling me he's okay?
Uruguayan international. And Nathan Salmon, a rookie to the MLR, but certainly experienced Kiwi.
What are we thinking?
Referee just making sure we could all play on here.
Okay, we need a decision, please.
Definitely not an HIA, head injury assessment.
Okay, we're either stopping him or we're playing on.
Piculo's shoulder at hand.
Good? Good. Offside. Offside.
If someone playing in the front row, you do want to make sure their shoulders are okay. But just after 2 minutes into this game, referee wants to make sure we can have a fast game with lots of continuity. But Joey, forgive me for saying it, but this does feel like a slow start for both teams. You know, just a bit of extra time getting to the line out, bit of extra time getting in place. Like, I'd love to see some more enthusiasm and alacrity.
Across, number 6.
And a second penalty for New England inside Seattle's half. Just easy territory, just giving away some easy territory here. Seattle looking to secure another line out. Like we said, they have some of the best line out possession stats in the league, and they've really seen it as their bread and butter, like I said, to build continuity through their forwards and through the possession that their forwards can get for the squad.
We'll see Devan Rousseau kicking a ton today because Davey Kutzer, the usual fly half, is out this week. And he's been a mainstay for this group. Andre Warner, again, getting that first start in the number 10. But he's well experienced, and him and JP Smith, like peanut butter and jelly for Alan Clark's group. So they're really hoping that they don't leave anything out that
Play on. He
could
caught
have
it.
been
No
desired.
problem.
They're continuing to try to work. We find ourselves in the halfway line. Redlinghuis works back. And Devon Rousseau gets tumbled over.
It's down.
Nicely done by
Use
Killian
it.
Coughlin, the Bostonian, but raised in Ireland. His return home, definitely happy to be on the pro team here in the Northeast. Worked outside, nicely
Shoulder.
done to get that to Paddy Ryan. He's had a couple of tries under his belt. And 2 against Anthem earlier this season.
Lane advantage.
Worked back, and look what I found there for Nathan Salmon. Bailey Wilson, rather, as he tumbles down. Bailey Wilson, the brother to Mitch Wilson. That's Nathan Salmon as he kicks it forward. The whistle's blown there by Robin Kaluzniak.
Unlucky there on that forward pass. I imagine if you're a Free Jacks fan, you would say the wind took that one, but you passed it backwards. Let's have a look at this turnover again here. So it's great pressure from the New England defense and great support. When you can turn defense into attack, that's a defensive coach's dream. Let's have a look at this pass again. Ooh. If you're a Free Jacks fan, you say flat. If you're a Seattle fan, you say clearly forward. Referee would agree with the Seattle fans here.
It looked pretty online. I was starting to say Bailey Wilson, brother to Mitch Wilson, who made that pass. 15, and we'll say blue. And Bailey Wilson 6 and blue.
We need to keep our space. You guys wait for bind.
Have one more look at this pass here. Let's see where his hands end up. Hands end up back.
Early, it's gonna be a free
and when you
kick.
keep running through that pass, it does look like it went backwards. Looks very, very flat. I'm sure the home crowd willing to give the referee the benefit of the doubt here, but there's one person with the whistle in their hands. As the law book says, they are the sole judge of fact, law, and time. So it's a forward pass.
And you're not saying that as a referee.
I mean, I got to defend my referees out there. Robin's doing a great job.
Number 3.
Well, from you as a referee, I think your authority and opinion is always going to be truth to me. That's for sure. James Daly, what's up? And getting involved, hashtag MLR 2026. That's right, Sunday night doubleheader. Anthem and California are off this week, so everybody else can catch up as far as games played goes. And I think both those clubs are more than happy to have a rest this week. So we'll have Sunday night rugby a little bit later on. Old Glory DC trying to take down the Chicago Hounds, who've just been a wagon this year. It has been incredible to watch.
Sack is fine.
They took down Seattle 55-29 last week, or 59-22 rather last week.
Number
it was
3
a
collapse.
shelling of the Seawolves in Starfire Stadium.
No 8.
Played forward there by Nathan Salmon, just looking for somebody to catch up to it. Instead, it'll be Nolan Tuamoiloa trying to chase it down. It ended up being Andre Warner to get it down.
No advantage.
And we'll reset.
It's going to be 3 collapsing.
Referee made it clear there, 3 collapsing, so we're coming back to the penalty advantage. Let's take a look at this chip kick through. An absolute beauty, and the ball is just such an awkward shape in rugby. Any other way could have popped up very nicely. And just the touchline beats the ball. Have a reset here. Free Jacks with the attacking kick.
Clearly this side.
Looking to likely set another maul in their line out. Get some go forward, find some points here in this 22.
Joel Hodgson, the fly half here for New England. Came over from Utah. Make a big splash here for the Free Jacks. Play it down, that's Jacob Norris. Big signing that
Look at that. He was
at one time was a Maori All Blacks international.
Goal line.
Robin Kaluzniak indicating that he did not get in. Another hold up there for Seattle. This time J.P. Smith with the clutch tackle.
Line out there did not go to plans. Have a look at this one again. Ball came into possession. You can see Norris hopping to plan B, looking for the try line. But the Seattle defense is just too strong, getting under that ball. Held up is the call. Seattle's will have a reset here with the goal line dropout.
That's big from Seattle because over the last few weeks, Alan Clark has been pleased at least a little bit with the offense, very displeased with how the goal line defense has gone. So this is from weeks 5 to 6, big improvement.
massive improvement. And again, these teams are so similar, which is likely why we find them both, although historically very strong, sitting in 5th, 6th place, because they're both sitting at about mid 70% tackle success. So a bit of work to be done on the defense. Just a miscue there from New England. Again, giving Seattle an easy out from the obstruction there called by the referee. Seattle gets to look to their line out once again to secure some territory and possession just outside New England's 22.
Rousseau does well there on his 3rd kick. And you and I were catching up pregame. I asked you about, is everybody a kicker in rugby? At least should you be a kicker in rugby? Because Devon Rousseau was one of the, I guess you could call him a tryout for the main place kicking duties this week, according to Alan Clark. So I posed that to you. You wouldn't want to give it to any of the big boys, right? But you want to at least see that most of your back line would be able to kick.
The back line you would think would be the most qualified, but if you were to ask the team who are our kickers, the front row would be the first to put their hands up. I'm pretty confident that all my tight 5 friends would say, Coach, I can do it, put me in. Right, and we see a number of props. It's just a fun part of the game that everyone enjoys. We all love a lot of kicks before training, after training. You know, it's conditioning before you even know you're working out when you're kicking with someone. So we all have a lot of fun doing it, but trust me, the forwards would like to take a crack at it.
On attacking
a
ball,
pretty nifty tackle there from Nathan Salmon. This is one of the aspects of his game that Brian Martin and the rest of the staff really liked when they signed him this season, is his ability to tackle on the fly.
What?
Sione Tupou. Work back. There's Salmon on the run. Swimming upstream, he kicks it forward. Nicely done to get New England some territory. It's recovered there by Seattle. Dan Creel, in his first start of the season, trained with the USA in February. We see Marlo Ridlingheiss getting involved there in some extracurriculars. Can't tell exactly with who at first. I think that was Keenan Higgins. The dust up settles there, and will play on, but clearly some tensions rising here in the midst of all the chaos there. As a ref, where do you kind of stand on, if you don't see it, out of sight, out of mind, or is it, okay, I caught the end of it, I got to at least address it?
At this level, I mean, the referee in the center has 2 eyes, but they also have 2 ARs. They are working in a true team of 3, not to mention the TMO who has eyes in the sky. So you just hope that the players would just put the energy into the game and not necessarily tussling with each other. But we have Free Jacks here. Look at them, putting the energy back into the game, trying to get front foot on this attack, looking to find some first set of points here.
Here's Von Donaldson was trying to wrestle that down. It's Oscar Lennon, the scrum half, number 9 in red, white, and blue. 2 tries in the last 3 games for him, for the Free Jacks. It was a slow start to their season last year, but they were able to become the first team in the MLR to 3-peat.
Release the ball.
And then only a few franchises across all sports can say. So Brian Martin and the staff felt like, this is fine. If we're 0-3, let's find out what we're made of. We only have 30% of our players back from last year's roster. We're still trying to find out who we are. Work back to Salmon.
Take advantage.
Marno Redlingheiss intercepts that ball and thumps forward. I would not want to see him coming down the lane. Big number 6, the War Machine. Played back for Michael Hand in the outside channel. Work down in the ruck. Callum Botcher.
No.
And Smith will sky that one high in the air. It's caught up nicely by Joel Hodgson. Played forward there by Wayne Vanderbank. And out of touch. So neither side able to draw first blood. We saw a chance played forward off a kick there from New England that was eventually caught up to by Seattle, and then Seattle also had the holdup.
10 meters.
You're exactly right, James. Both in the bottom of the table right now. The MLR is wild.
Okay,
you see Anthem and their rise a little bit. The newly formed California Legion also proving to be a bit of a power, Alicia. And then we talked about Chicago. They have just been unstoppable this season.
Chicago is looking to be the favorites of the season. If you see that ball go overhead to Tupou. Free Jacks on the attack here.
This is a huge momentum play. Played forward. Soleil. Worked down. Lennon trying to find his best outlet. It was intercepted by Rickard Hadding. And Hadding is throwing the arms up in the air. What happened?
Number 8.
And the captain for Seattle.
You're offside there. No, your timing is wrong.
He's offside.
Rickard, this is now a number of penalties in this area. Have a word or someone. Ready?
Have a look at this penalty here.
Okay.
Referee calls offside. I believe is a fair call, just given just the ruck speed on that one. You really need to be on the right side, especially when the referee is facing you. You're directly in his line of view. Free Jacks opt for a scrum here. Just bring in some of Seattle's strength into one spot. See what their backs could do against each other with some open space.
What's the advantage to the scrum, especially in this area of the field?
So you want all the bigs and heavies to be working super hard in the scrum on your opposition, so then your backs can just have more space to their right, to their left for decision making. And you can see Free Jacks backs spread to the right, stacked behind. Really hard picture to defend here in such a short space.
Oscar Lennon, way outside the center, and he catches it in stride. And New England's on the board. Stream for the first try of the day.
Beautifully worked try there from New England. And like we said, that's exactly what the backs are looking for. They just want open space to play in. So off the back of the scrum, really well secured by the Free Jacks. Scrum half Lennon seeing pass on the outside. Look at all this space. 7-style pass all the way to the edge. We have Seattle pleading for a forward pass. Referee says no way. 5 points for New England.
Nathan Salmon came over from Northland, where he was coached by Ryan Martin. As Hodgson is wide, so we'll stay at 5. Attended Wangry Boys High School, came up through the Northland system, played U19 there, and the Barbarians signing him in 2023. Came over to the MLR this season to try to get the 4-peat for the New England Free Jacks as a youngster. He is quite the talent.
Presented by Newton Eye Center, the official eye care provider of the New England Free Jacks.
Last week, New England really played forward on their momentum and continued to just drive the ball forward against Anthem, and Anthem really didn't have an answer for it. Might we see the same fortune today, or could Seattle, with the depleted roster with 9 of their usual 23 out?
Turnover's good.
This team has been through it. They're facing some serious resistance this year with their injuries. Nicely done to play that forward in the outside channel. It's a Creel. One more, finding Tuamoiloa. He works back to find J.P. Smith. One more there for Reno Herbst, and Herbst lost it in the pass there to Redlingice.
I'll deal with number 4. I've got this. Leave it. I've got this. Don't worry. Just
Separation of the gentleman for Robin Kaluzniak.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy. 4. Deliberate infringement. Early tackle.
And a yellow issued to Piers Von Donaldson.
Just give us a second.
So he will take a seat in the
please.
sin bin for 10 minutes.
Ready to play?
Yellow card to the Free Jacks.
Number 4.
One more
Early
look
tackle,
at this one.
deliberate
If you're
infringement.
wondering what the referee was calling, saying interference, like an early
good on you right
tackle
there.
off the ball that would have prevented that ball from being a clear offload to Seattle. That's just unfortunate. Now New England is facing a line out, but down a second row, and second rows are truly the powerhouse in the scrum and the engineers of the line out.
in there.
So Seattle, some quick momentum back. See if they can take advantage here.
Play on. That's fine.
Rickard Hadding was skied high in the air. See what Andre Warner and company can find. It's Devo Kutza with the ball in his hand, 2 and white. Warner plays it back to Dan Creel. Creel tries to muscle forward to the 5.
Tackler not rolling. Number 12.
Smith.
He's fine there.
Seattle continuing to work. Smith gets tied up with Jacob Norris. And Devon Rousseau.
Where's Wayne? Captain. Yeah. So the previous one was deliberate. Now we have repeated penalties in this area. Same warning I gave them. We need better discipline or someone else goes to the bin. Yeah, that. You were busy playing
These
instead of
teams, the most penalized in the MLR at about 13 a pop. New England has the edge at 13.2
okay. Scrum chosen
per game, and a scrum chosen here for Seattle.
Scrum, Seattle.
Seattle here opting like for like. We saw the effects of Free Jacks choosing a scrum on the other end. Seattle showing them they can give them a taste of their own medicine, especially with the scrum half in the bin. This is a really smart decision that they go for, because they will either need to bring someone in from the wing to likely be at flanker and push a flanker into second row, or they will need to go without an 8. It looks like they've brought in a back into their scrum, so we have 8v8, but that means there is plenty of space somewhere for the Seahawks backline to attack.
Very opportune moment here for Seattle.
I'm going to come over. Right here. Keep our feet up underneath us.
Seen plenty of good bouts for the
I'm going to make sure his feet stay up. Good clear line on his back. Okay. Yep.
Matchup with the Patriots and the Seahawks, and donning the same colors, only fitting, feels reminiscent of what the Super Bowl was this year. Maybe Seattle has the same fortune. Boston sports not doing so hot right now, so New England trying to find some retribution for Massachusetts.
Bring some pride home to New England. Free Jacks have a chance to do that today.
They can get a 4-peat. I think all could be forgiven as another title reaches
We're fine
title
this
time.
side. I expect that to keep up, understand? I'm coming over here again, okay? Both of us, clear break foot this time.
The referee showing a lot of patience here in the scrum after 2 resets. Happy to just keep switching sides, keep an eye on both loose heads, both tight heads.
Okay.
Likely final phase until hydration break. Gone relatively quick through the first 20. New England donning the only try of the day so far. Smith.
Leg advantage.
Worked back.
Collapsing.
Ends up going the opposite way. Deep pass outside. Caught in stride there from Michael Hand. And Seattle ties it up.
Talk about mirror image of a try here.
Thank you.
Seattle seeing whatever you can do, I can do better. And exactly the same sort of try. Less of a platform from the scrum, but possession maintained nonetheless. As the referee put his arm out. Smith having a look both sides, see what the better option is. And what a beautiful pass to Hadding. 5 points for Seattle.
Michael Hand, the former Chicago Hound, signed this year. Originally grew up in Connecticut, a former 4x100 champion, and a rugby club player back in his days at Baylor. Hydration break ensuing. We will take one with them. Seattle up ahead by 2. Welcome back to Veterans Memorial Stadium. It is Salute to Service Day here for the Free Jacks home game. We thank all of our brave men and women in the armed forces, and they're doing a great job honoring them today at site. It is a 7-5 contest in favor of Seattle. Alongside former USA Eagle, Alicia Washington, Joey Lindstrom, thanks for being with us here today. Fun day here in Quincy. A bit chilly outside. from the Northeast for the first weekend of May.
Uncharacteristically chilly, I would say, for New England. I was at Veterans Memorial Stadium yesterday for a different rugby contest, and truly surprisingly cold, and the teams are kind of showing it a bit. I think we had a bit of a slow start. Took a bit for both of our first tries to happen, but both teams look to have some wind in their sails now as Free Jacks attack just inside their attacking 10.
I misspoke. I thought Divan Rousseau had made that extra couple of points. We're tied at 5.
Well,
back and forth for teams that are navigating their way through the standings, both 1 and 3. New England got their first win of the season last week. Seattle opened the season with a win over Old Glory at home. They have since lost their way, but they're trying to find themselves back on the foot. 12 of their 19 returning players from a season ago with MLR experience, and Alan Clark feels like he brought a ton back, especially the veteran presence. I mean, this group, really, from an experience standpoint, Alicia, is loaded. They just got to find some wins.
Back off the white into touch.
Both teams are massively experienced, and both teams have showed in past seasons how well they know how to win, how well that they can get over the try line. But when you have a few mix-ups between seasons, and you also have a bunch of injuries in this Week 6 matchup, you do have to question how good is our bench. And that's the question of this game. How deep is our bench? How many questions can we ask of the opposition? And our second side, although obviously these are first sides, but our development, how well have we trained up the guys who aren't necessarily in the starting jersey? And all those questions are being asked of both teams right now.
Alan Clark has been really pleased with the young guys as well. Kevin Lulamanga had his first try 2 weeks ago against California in his debut as a starter.
Yeah, good on you.
Let's look at this line out. Free Jacks looking to secure possession and line out against a Seattle team who does have the highest percentage of disrupted defensive lineouts. So they are looking to disrupt at source, make things a bit harder for the opposition to attack off of. Didn't pull off of them this time, as Free Jacks just attacked just outside the 22.
And Higgins played back for Mitch Wilson. Oscar Lennon finds some room. Free Jacks trying to move. Play that ball forward. It's back to Keenan Higgins. 12 in red, white, and blue. Tumbling and spinning out of the way and out of trouble.
Yeah, he's doing
Sione Tupu.
Play on.
Works forward here. Nice push there from Alex McKenzie. He has his eyes on becoming an Eagle as well, but they turn it over. Seattle back on the run. Rickard Hadding. And that was played forward on a knock-on there by Keenan Higgins, trying to interfere.
Clear line break opportunity, deliberate knock-on.
And he'll get a yellow for that. You know, you already have Von Donaldson in the sin bin still. 10 minutes nearly surpassed for New England to get him back on. And now you've got another hanging on the sideline.
Maybe not the kick exit there that Seattle was looking for. They'll be playing 15 on 13 for at least the next few minutes. But sometimes, Joey, teams can find an extra 10-15% by having a player in the bin. It's never ideal, but it does push everyone to work that much harder, cover a little bit more space, be that much more communicative when you have to find it. One more look at this. Great turnover here by Seattle. Looking up, and you could just see clear numbers on the outside and inside. Line break opportunity was thwarted, but illegally. So New England will have 2 players in the bin for the next 8 minutes.
Right now.
JP Smith. It's the boomstick down, and it eventually falls into the lap there of Tupu. Work back outside. Nathan Salmon trickles it forward to himself. Tuamoiloa catches up to it, but it trickles out of touch there.
Agreed. On the line, you can have the line. Line's yours. Yeah, line. Yeah.
So Seattle regains possession.
Just make sure we're all the way in, yeah.
And a bit of a stagnated start for both sides. where New England was truly finding some momentum. Seattle held up, and New England on that following couple phases later get their first try. Seattle answers almost immediately back. Patty Ryan throwing a stiff arm. Smith finds Creel on the outside. He keeps the legs churning, gains a few more meters. Maybe the 15-on-13 mark is going to start to be a bit of a war of attrition here on New England until they can get Piers Von Donaldson back on the pitch. He's nearly there as far as time served. And falls into the arms of Deval Kutsa. He lost it in the turn though. Killian Coughlin works back to Joel Hodgson. He'll play it back deep, and it's caught up there by Andre Warner. Warner boots this one deep. And it hangs up.
Come out now. Play on.
A little spin there from Michael Hand. But back in the outside, Riekert Hadding. Been a bit helter-skelter for both these sides, trying to find their way. Tuamoiloa gets wrestled down, 14. But they're ahead of the halfway line.
Playing advantage. 14 must roll, prevented the cleanout.
B. Smith to Andre Warner. They lose the handle on it in the midst of that pass.
14 not rolling away, prevented the cleanout.
Well called there by the referee as Seattle looks to play fast through the hands and into space that has been created by New England having two players in the bin. Especially when you're down, you have to up the discipline across the board. No coach wants to see their team give easy outs to the opposition, especially when their lineout percentage is so high.
Thank you, go ahead.
Russo sliding that one off his left foot.
Good.
Beautiful left-footed kicker in the 13 channel for Seattle. Able to get some territory for the Seawolves.
So Piers Von Donaldson is back on, 4 in red, white, and blue. The second row lock, and fully capped Canadian international. Welcome sign to get him back on the pitch, but they need him bad on defense right now. Deval Kutsa works back. This is Dan Creel.
No!
Creel gets tied down and shoestring tackled there by Jacob Norris, just hanging on.
Leave it.
He'll stay with the Seawolves.
Yeah, 13. Wayne, come here.
So both captains going to be addressed here.
We had a previous warning for inside the 22. This is outside of that. We now have a repeated trend of repeated breakdown infringements, okay? Yeah, the issue there is the side entry. We have 2 players already in the bin, and the discipline isn't changing. You change it, or there's more going.
So the 2024 MLR Player of the Year getting read the riot act there by Robin Kaluzniak. Chud, what's up? Been waiting for this game all week, hoping Seattle comes out with a win. I know you and Clarkey are the same there, Chud. I think there's a strong chance that both these sides, they're built with championship pedigree, Alicia. These teams have won 5 out of the last 7 MLR titles. It's a good chance that either of these teams, despite the tough start, we could still see in championship weekend.
Oh, that's absolutely for sure. And you can see that they know how to build, they know how to perform when they need to. It is a shorter season for everyone across the league. So you do have to treat every game as if it's a semifinal. So both teams are treating it that way, making it a bit of a dogfight here.
Play on, Matador.
Especially early. Knocked on there, couldn't handle that on the outside. There's 15, Duncan Matthews. No retreat back as Seattle throws away an opportunity inside the 22.
Be smart about that. Hold. Advantage is over.
Plays it deep, and Matthews.
The ball is clearly past the plane already.
Wasn't going to catch that one anyway along touchline. And Seattle traveled to South Africa to face the Stormers in a preseason friendly down to Cape Town, and they have a strategic partnership with exchange of players and coaches, so it made sense to go play it, but a lot of injuries have unfortunately hobbled the Seawolves team.
This is a perfect get.
9 different players with nagging injuries and some more serious than others that prevent them from getting on the pitch. Oscar Lennon and company trying to compound on their efforts from a bit earlier. This one looks good in the outside channel. Played down there for Coughlin. One more for Salmon as he gets wrestled down from behind. New England on the foot now. Joel Hodgson tumbles forward. Play back there for Alex McKenzie. Von Donaldson works down on the tumble.
13 offside.
So much of this Free Jacks group has been spirited to try to find wins. And now they're really on the offensive here, trying to just see what the Seattle defense might be made of here, Alicia.
You can see 9 Lennon looking to his pitch leaders to see what's our best option here. Free Jacks have elected to go 4 points. I think it's a really smart decision. Both teams have been in a dogfight, back and forth, possession, loss of possession, penalty, both sides. I think just securing 3 points for the Free Jacks will result, if this kick slots, it will result in them getting possession again on the kickoff. This is a good decision across the board here.
Joel Hodgson knocks it through, and New England takes the lead back. Second highest point total among active players when he came over to New England. It's just like clockwork off the tee for Joel Hodgson, and huge for New England to be able to replace one of their all-time players, Jason Patra. And it was pretty much like for like when they signed Joel Hodgson. When you need a fly half as good as Jason Patra, I think Joel Hodgson is a terrific option for what they were able to get this offseason.
Let it come, let it come.
Less than 10 minutes to go in our first half.
Stay on side 5. 5 white.
Matthews holds it up. Punt return effort here from Matthews as he plays it back. This is Reno Herbst. Stumbled down, and another call from Robert Kaluzniak. We'll be back to New England.
How much time on the yellow? Let's play and I'll let you know in a second.
Let's have a look at this one.
1 minute left on it.
Herbst lock on the loose here. But McKenzie just seeing that there's no support to be found. It's just a real skill to be able to anticipate a break that's going to happen and kick your body into 4th gear so that none of your players on the break will be alone and get such an easy turnover like that. Such an easy picture for the referee to call. And now we have Free Jacks with an attacking platform just outside or just inside their attacking 10. Beautifully taken by Free Jacks there.
Killing Coughlin.
Need to do better.
Cork University. Great. That Rugby Uni Club. Ruben Palmer, 5, is out there as well. This is his MLR debut season. Originally from Tauranga, New Zealand. Plenty of great talent coming out of that area. There he is again. Tumbled down there and wrestled there with Paddy Ryan.
Play on.
So done worked on the outside. Here's Killian Coughlin. Decent amount of meters gained, and New England aggressively trying to move this ball forward.
Talk about needing support. Free Jacks stringing together so many beautiful tries, getting some continuity, getting some go forward, doing all the basics really well, getting their arms free past the defenders, but they just need to find the support. And this is both sides. Both penalties back to back. No support, poached. And same thing for New England, no support and poached. So possession goes back to Seattle.
Thank you.
And Devon Rousseau continuing to work on his kicking game for placement and to gain some territory. As that one finds the crowd, and First Regiment showing out today in Quincy. Somebody had a sick handlebar stash in there. And we are back to even strength 15 apiece with that yellow card time served. Seattle unable to take advantage of the extra men opportunity. See if the Seawolves could find that extra offense, a little extra push here late, and can New England extend its lead? Hodgson gets
no head contact
banged up there by Lerome White, number 1 in white. I think about a real catalyst for offense.
You are holding him in, number 5.
Alicia, I have to imagine that there's a ton of energy that goes into that, but Seattle unable to come up with it.
You do see oftentimes that yellow cards can galvanize a team, everyone finding that extra 10, 15%. In the Free Jacks, they have found that. Early on in the first card for Von Dadelson, they put in one try, let in one try.
You cannot be holding.
Kind of hard to recover from that. But for the rest of the card time, which was, another 12, 13 minutes past a hydration break, they were a man down and still ended up with 3 points ahead in that time.
Right there.
Out of the man down, New England actually ended up pretty well with it. Patty Ryan was just trying to wrestle himself out of the quicksand there, and that ball is knocked on there by Bailey Wilson. He had a touch back to Seattle.
What an unfortunate knock there. Hit green grass all in front of him.
Better inside your 22. Now it's repeated breakdown infringements. Roll away. Yeah. He can't put himself there. Right here.
Oscar Lennon and company have to be. Go ahead. Sorry.
Exactly.
Kaluzniak looking to be a little bit tired, talking to the team about the penalties in these red areas here.
Okay, thanks.
And you start to, as a referee, do you start to feel the energy change when certain guys or ladies, when they're playing, are getting a little frantic or tempers start to flare? Can you feel that as a referee, or do you try to nip it in the bud early?
Oh, absolutely. But not sure there's much you can do as a ref to get the tempers down besides give some cards, maybe separate, maybe talk to captains, give them a second to think about it. But you can hear the frustration in his voice, reminding the captains we've had a number of penalties both sides. Let's get them out of the game because we're slowing the ball down. And it's not working for you guys, so get rid of it, essentially what he's saying.
If you end up on that side,
so with that penalty, Joel Hodgson converts another 3. And New England goes up 6. Just a few ticks left in the first half.
Use it!
See what Seattle can find here late in this first half.
Take a step.
That offensive prowess that we're used to seeing with this Seawolf bunch came at a time when it was rather unsettled, and we've seen a couple times when line breaks have been disrupted by a penalty, by a call. They find another one here before half.
Clean up. Use it! Wait for it.
Hodgson going to play forward on territory. Tuamoiloa will let this one bounce outside of the touchline.
Thank you.
So early thoughts from you, Alicia, on going into the halftime break, what your message would be to both these sides?
It has to be discipline. I'm thinking now how the penalty count for both sides way too high, especially way too high in some really critical areas. You have to find a way to communicate on both sides of the ball, get your support there, make sure that you're driving through contact as a tackler so you're not ending up on the wrong side of the ball. That's been a large number of our penalties, slowing the ball down by not rolling away. So the message just has to be discipline. But if the coaches are seeing that these are fatigue penalties, then that's where you start rolling in some subs.
Dan Creel trying to muscle forward there with Andre Warner and J.P. Smith. Again, those two starting for the first time this season at their respective positions. They both played scrum half and fly half respectively in the past, but certainly not for these groups.
I haven't seen any head contact.
Tough one there from Mitch Wilson. He's claiming maybe some head contact. Oscar Lennon plays this one back for Tavita Soleil.
Stay on. Use it.
Phases of this first half, and New England has come out with 2 penalty kicks to go up by 6.
Play on. They're outside the 22.
Matthews just unsure of where his location was. Look at that satellite image, and New England wins it back.
I've got a challenge. We have
Ruben Palmer pumped up.
Give it a second. It's holding on here. We've got a challenge we're going to take a look at. Okay, just a minute. I'll let you know in just a second. Okay. We have a team challenge by New England. We're looking for head
So Ryan
contact
Martin, the Free Jacks
at 39:01. Is that correct? 39:09. Okay, thank you. We're going to have a look. Would you be able to give us some space, please?
Referee's always so respectful.
So I think my favorite highlight reel of this game is the one-liners from referee Kaluzniak.
He's been great. He's been great.
But this one, my jaw's on the floor. That the field awareness just needs to be on point at this level. Calling a mark outside the 22.
If we can have a look at the tackle that happens before the kick. Yeah, keep bringing it back, please.
What's the biggest evaluation point here,
Going back.
Alicia?
Yeah, behind it, before this, please.
It looks like we're looking at
The tackle.
potential head contact. In a tackle, referee and crew are still searching for it.
Okay, there's
Clearly,
nothing to make
Ryan
of that.
Martin
We need
and
to see the previous tackle before
James
that.
Doyle, Todd Thornley, and the staff have seen something that they indicate should be reviewed.
The coaches saw it and are pretty confident about it. There might be something there. Neither sides want to slow down the game, especially when their team is attacking and they got a penalty. So they must feel pretty confident in what they saw.
Here we go.
At this juncture, too, there's not going to be too much injury time. So you say 40 seconds to another minute, maybe. So I guess it makes sense, right, if you're New England, to challenge this based on where you are on the field.
Get another look at that tackle, please. First look, boys. If you've seen head contact, do we agree? Get another look, please.
Referee team looking for the right angles here. I believe they are looking at shoulder to head contact on Seawolves number 1.
Ricker, walk away or I'm going to penalize you.
Firm but polite.
Tough to tell. Looked inadvertent, if anything.
Okay, so we just need another look at that.
Mitch Wilson touching his head after this contact, though. White putting his hands up afterwards, saying, "Nope, not me. I didn't do anything." Both sides disagreeing on this one.
Okay, from here, boys, it's clear to me that there is head contact. Agreed. It is foul play because he's upright. Let's take a look at the speed of it. Could you play it at full speed, please, Mike? Okay, it's not at high speed. Okay, so I'm on not high danger. He's also passive, so I feel like there's mitigation there. We're at penalty only. Do we agree? Okay, sure. Let's have one more look at the speed, please.
Crowd unhappy with the interpretation there. You can hear some cries for yellow.
Certainly some,
For me, that's not high danger. Okay, and I see that he's clearly passive. I'm gonna apply
certainly some
mitigation. I'm at penalty.
important time here
I have a
late,
decision.
especially if it goes back.
Following a team challenge by New England, we determined there is foul play. It's penalty only. New England retains their challenge. We're going to come to the penalty back here. However, yeah, we have a penalty right here. We'll play advantage. We'll apply the penalty right there. Thanks.
So New England comes out really good out of this referee review system.
Just a moment, please.
And Hodgson's going to try to place this forward and could find herself up by 11. Or as many as 13 if you're New England.
Keep the space.
Free Jack. New England, let me hear you.
Or whatever he's having. For the Id Stadium. Played back here. This is Sione Tupou.
He's through the middle. He's right through the middle.
And he's muscling forward. At least was trying for it. Seattle ends up the benefactor thanks to Marnu Ridley-Ice.
Yeah, if you, yeah.
Their ownership's close to as bad as but not as bad.
What do you surmise on that particular sequence, Alicia, as we go into break?
Referee calling a very unlikely free kick from a ruck there, but we stand, same score. New England hosting 11-5. Seawolves looking to make the attack in the second half.
Second half beginning here. First regiment getting set. Anita Naylor, excuse me. With Seattle looking physical. New England just putting more points on the board. Let's see what's next in the second half. That's right. Let's check it out. Hashtag MLR 2026 if you want to get involved.
Yes.
Alongside former USA Eagle, Alicia Washington, Joey Lindstrom. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Sunday Night Rugby follows us. You can check out the pregame show with Will Hooley, Claudia Belafato,
Good to go.
and Christian Dyer, the special guest this week for the Sunday Night Rugby pregame show. And then Ben Holden and Bree Kim will have the call for you for Chicago and Old Glory, DC. So Mason Pedersen replaces Ignacio Piculo, who got a bit shaken up for Seattle there in that first half. Early on in the first 3 or 4 minutes, so good to see that they're going to take his health seriously. You'll see 18 in white. Pedersen.
Don't change.
It was a slow start to that first half, and New England trying to maybe work a little bit more pace, and Seattle is trying to get back in this thing.
Both sides starting off, it's like a bit more alacrity and enthusiasm in their carries, how quickly they're getting to that last line out there, their setup. I think both teams probably heard a bit from their coaches about wanting to look a bit more energetic, a bit more hungry in the second half.
Yeah, I'd certainly say so. It looks like that already, especially with Mitch Wilson working on the outside there. That's Alex McKenzie playing it down here for Free Jacks. In Rugby, you have the opportunity to get right back into this matchup if you're Seattle, or take it right from the grips of the Seawolves. Played forward on the kick there. It's collected by Devon Rousseau. He gets tackled there by Wayne Vanderbank, the captain of this Free Jacks team. And Seattle worked back in their own end. They're used to that here today. They're working left to right there in the white jerseys, and New England, of course, in the red, white, and blue.
No, it's not. It's under legs, it's not.
Ruben Palmer beckoning that maybe New England should have been at an advantage, and this will be played out there out of the touchline. So a couple of adjustments, I'm sure, made in the second half, not just from a substitutions perspective, Alicia, but you mentioned discipline as being a key factor in how these teams could take advantage in the second half. Do you feel like that was one thing that was talked about, and what else might come to mind?
It would have to be, and I would say for the Free Jacks, these players are obviously very talented. They're very good, they're very fit, but you can't coach pride. And when both teams are just getting so many penalties, not being in position, maybe making 50-50 decisions, you just have to remember there's a badge on your chest you're playing for, there's a brother to your right and to your left that you're playing for, and you have to play with pride. And that is how these teams in 5 and 6 position can make their way up the table. It's not going to be through talent. You know they're talented. It's going to be through pride and effort and consistency that you can gain from getting those two attributes right.
Come on.
Let's see how both these groups make that tweak. Both in the bottom of the table right now at 1-3. New England got their first win last week, but there's only 6 more chances for either side. This looks good from the Free Jacks. Coughlin works down.
Play on, no problem. All backwards.
Lennon loses the ball briefly. Dodges a
Wait for
man
it,
and
5.
will play it back. Seattle collects it with Andre Warner as he kicks forward, and that's going to eventually find out a touch, but takes a very generous Seawolf bounce.
Eyes up, play on.
Free Jacks will have to play out of their
play
own
on,
end.
Play on. Hold. Wait. Play on.
So you saw Sione Tupou. Just curious, Alicia, why no line out there on that call? He was hanging out on the sideline. Just curious. If you don't know that, that's all good.
No,
I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out a way to say that as a coach, you want your players to play what you see and back yourself. So no matter what decision you make it at 100%. And they decided that as opposed to playing from that position in a line out, let's catch Seattle off guard. Let's find a way to get on the front foot by playing it fast. And in rugby in law, if the ball is untouched, when it goes in to touch, then you can play from wherever you can as long as it is behind the line of touch.
It's turned out well for Seattle.
No. Advantage playing the 9 now.
Here on the restart. And it's unfortunate that
Tell me how to referee.
Andre
7.
Warner couldn't hold that
Deliberate
ball up.
infringement playing the 9.
And another yellow card for the Free Jacks. So it'll be a man advantage here for Seattle.
He'll be off the field.
And JP Smith also gets the talking to. Jacob Norris, the guilty party.
Playing the 9, shot at goal.
One more look at this one. Seattle just putting in a chip kick for Rousseau on the attack. Beautiful catch, beautiful take, a bit of evasion there, and just kept his legs driving through contact. It is illegal to play the 9 at the base of the ruck. The referee in a great position to spot that penalty. Seattle opting for points here.
Smartly too, don't you think? I mean, especially with the way that their offense has been stagnant. And Rousseau, who is carrying kicking duties this week, adding on the extra 3 here for Seattle. Inching closer and closer.
Beautiful decision there by Seattle. Now a 3-point game. I think just really making smart decisions. They could have gone for the line out there. They could have opted for a scrum, especially with a flanker in the bin. But I think coming away with points and now knowing that they're going to get a kick back to them, another possession, is definitely the way to go. Let's see if it pays off, Joey.
Andre Warner
Chest, I've seen no head contact.
gets tabletop there by Ruben Palmer.
No, get out.
Off the point scoring opportunity here for Seattle. They end up trying to play forward. So much of this group is returning. 12 out of the 19 on this roster. If they get a win today, Seattle could become the winningest franchise in MLR history. There would be 72, or 73 rather. They are currently tied with San Diego Legion.
Okay, then we're playing on. Okay, we can't repeatedly go down.
Tavita Sole
Okay, we're
will
playing on. They
work
said
the
they're
line
just
out.
taping his shoe. We're gonna play on. Time is on.
Robin Kaluziak, in the interest of timeliness, getting this group going.
Contest up front.
Unlucky there for New England.
Scrum chill.
Seattle opting for the scrum. It was a pretty easy picture for referee Kaluzniak to read. When the jumper goes up and catches the ball to the outside and not towards the tunnel. Let's have a look here.
Let's play, boys.
Especially with Seattle going up in the front, creating a little bit of pressure, just get into that hooker's eye line. Ball drifts to the outside. Now Seattle has possession on their temps, a great attacking platform.
Where do you take advantage if you're in this part of the field? Do you try to go to that near outside channel, or you try to play the opposite side of the field? What would you do?
Oh, this is a... So as my first position having been number 8, I would want an 8 pick here all day. 8 pick, try to beat the flanker, drive right into the 10. and then have hopefully sucked in a few defenders, and then make room for my outside on phase 2 and 3. That would be my play. We'll see what Seattle does with it.
I love the X's and O's.
It's a fun game, especially when you're a forward getting a drive out of 10 in open space. That's an 8-man's dream.
Oh, yeah. See the big gash on Patty Ryan's right elbow. But a physical game here on the turf here in Quincy at Veterans Memorial Stadium. On salute to Service Day, Seattle ends up garnering some advantage there out of the scrum. Devon Rousseau, bit of a mixed review on his kicking day so far, and his first duties being the main place kicker this season. Played back through Seattle, working forward. It was Reno Herbst that held on to it briefly. Or excuse me, Patty Ryan. Played back there for Andre Warner. Tuamoiloa gets tackled nicely there by Killian Coughlin.
I'm gonna have a look, yeah.
Well spotted there by the referee. I believe we'll be reviewing a head contact.
We're gonna have a referee-initiated review. The play is under review. Having a look at this tackle.
So Tuamoiloa got jacked up, and they're going to take another look to see if there was head-to-head.
So I'm going to be honest, I love this from the referees. Player safety has to be paramount, whether you're a coach, trainer, referee, spectator. Paramount, player safety. And you can see this contact here, at least at first glance, looks pretty clear.
Inadvertent, of course, but Mitch Wilson will likely be guilty of the head-to-head here. What do you surmise out of that? Is that clear?
It was clear, and I think the referee was in a great position right across to see it. And
yeah, maybe.
Contact head to shoulder. Do you agree? We're seeing head to shoulder. Yeah.
We played this game for so long, and I don't know how.
Now that I'm retired, I don't know how either.
I'm hearing.
High degrees of danger. Do we agree? Let's have a look, see if there's any mitigation.
Wickard hanging out. He's in the camera shot. Love it. But you hear Robin Kaluzniak there. Looks like he's actually going to think this is foul play, or at least is how he's going to deem it.
At this angle, it is hard to see Wilson's shoulder come around, but you could see the result of the hit. Result of the hit, seeing attacker's head goes back. There must have been some contact somewhere. I think they're reviewing once again to make sure they get this call right.
Change of dynamic. Okay, so not high danger. There is mitigation, so we're on penalty only. Great. Okay, thanks. I have a decision. Following a referee-initiated review, we determined that there was head contact, there is foul play because the player is upright, it's not a high degree of danger, and there is mitigation due to the change in dynamic. It'll just be a penalty here.
So penalty ensued.
Okay, thanks. Is the sub on already? High tackle.
So, as you continue to referee, Alicia, and you're not refereeing the MLR, obviously you're here.
I'm here.
Involved with the MLR. What are your thoughts around RRS at the moment? I mean, I know we're going to get in phase here, but
we're just waiting for the sub and then we'll play.
Curious about how these things are evaluated and just what you see. I mean, just from how it's gone so far.
I'll say I love it. We need to get head contact out of the game, and as defenders, you are in charge of controlling that contact. You have every opportunity to drop your height. And yes, there are mitigating factors that we have to consider, but I don't think...
Just hold the throw, please. Hold volley.
I don't think that Wilson's direction and power
We can play, please.
was inevitable. I believe he could have dropped his height, which is why we resulted in a penalty, but not any escalation to a card.
Good to play, Don. Time up.
But I do think this is something across the game we need to get right and get very consistently to make sure the game stays safe for everyone.
No doubt. See if Seattle can take advantage of that penalty here in phase. Warner down to Reno Herbst. Or Smith, rather, working through at scrum half, trying to find that offense for his team. With a great fake out earlier. This is Reno Herbst, played it back. One more for Callum Botcher. And Botcher trying to muscle forward, just get the nose of the rugby ball across the line. On the outside, Paddy Ryan reaching. And it's down for a try, and Seattle takes the lead.
But it's definitely not
The Seawolves march right back into it. On the road in a cross-country trek, they've held off New England in a couple of instances, and it pays off. Now they've got the lead, Alicia.
Got the lead. What a beautifully worked try. Let's have a look at this one again. And this is the hungriest we've seen the Free Jacks defense look all game. Keeping their discipline up, almost hopping offside. I would bet the Free Jacks want to have another look at that one. Referees seem confident in the call. Happy to call the try. But if you're the Free Jacks defense coach, you must be snapping a clipboard somewhere, asking for that one to be reviewed. Just such strong work from Lennon to get across the field under that ball. He was on a bit of an island in a 2v1. Great work there from the Seawolves.
So Devon Rousseau unable to convert on the extra two.
Sorry, say again. We have a challenge?
And it looks like Ryan Martin is going to challenge that previous play.
As expected.
Challenge.
Good eye, partner.
Okay.
Robert Kluzek even said it was close, but
yes,
not close enough.
Exactly.
So to be clear, our on-field decision to draw, we're checking to see if the player is clearly in touch.
One more look at this one. Joey, this one's tight. I'm really unsure on the grounding, especially given how close the touch line is there.
Is it the knee that they're mainly targeting? What's going to give the indication that he wouldn't have a try?
So we just want to make sure that the ball is grounded before the ball carrier goes into touch.
We can't see anything from that angle. Do we have a reverse angle or a corner angle to take a look at?
I know Robin Kluzniak wants to see. I don't know. I think this might be the best he gets, but
this might be the only angle that we can see.
I have nothing here. Do we have any other angles to take a look at?
yeah. Federico Anselmi and Cam Russell, the assistant referees.
Okay, play this one through, please.
I do wonder, even if this is called back, if they will call Lennon for a high tackle on this one. He's doing everything he can to not allow this try, but that is clearly a high tackle.
Yeah, he was giving it all he got there, taking with Paddy Ryan taking for a ride.
Following a review by New England, it was determined that we're sticking with our on-field decision. There is no clear evidence that the player's in touch. New England loses their challenge.
The first regiment is ready to bark down the door of Robert Kluzniak, but given the angle, they made the right on-field decision from the best that they could do, especially given the circumstance. So Seattle takes the lead back. Both these teams in a defensive effort. New England still playing at a disadvantage here. So much of this group here for Seattle has been changed up and switched around as Nicholas Boyer is checked in. 21 in white.
Yeah, on is good.
With 9 players injured, there's going to be some matriculation there of injuries throughout the season. Where do you find that that continued fight if you're Alan Clark's squad? They're trying to look for it here against New England and redirect their season back into winning ways.
Use it.
Jerome White.
Keep moving.
A prop move forward.
Use it.
JP Smith had a couple hesitations earlier today that
Hold. Touched. Yeah.
really faked out the Free Jacks. Played forward out the kick. Takes a nice bounce into the awaiting arms there of Coughlin. Kicked forward here. New England trying to catch up with it. It's played back into the end zone, and it'll trickle out of bounds along the end line.
It's a great attacking kick there. But any transition coach will tell you that your kick is only as good as your kick chase and the quality of the kick.
Okay.
You learned something new today, Joey. So great attacking kick. Great job seeing the vision of some green grass in the backfield. But the in goals today are a bit short, so it is going to be hard to find a lot of attacking prowess, to find some tries, find some points when the kick is that strong going out the back.
And we agree, Richard. Free Jacks look good. Seattle starting to encroach on this lead here. They desperately need that win. Both teams hanging out with just one win apiece, normally near the top of the standings in Major League Rugby. But the Free Jacks had an 0-3 start last year and ripped off a ton of wins to finish 11-5 on the year going into the playoffs, and found themselves in that title game against Houston and dominated. So this is not unfamiliar territory, but this is almost an entirely new roster. Big win for the Free Jacks out of that scrum. Kyle Segura, 17 in red, white, and blue, is checked in with that beautiful skullet of doom and the handlebar mustache, and he fires up his group.
Absolutely fired up and ready to go. But do you know what it means for a forward pack to get a scrum penalty with 7? That has to jazz you up almost as much as a try. And when you look at how momentum can change in a game, this is something. They're coming off of a referee decision that they probably don't agree with to now getting a penalty with 7 on 8. They have to be jazzed up beyond belief right now, Joey.
Take a little step off, little step off.
Yeah, down a man and still able to get the strength of 8. Pretty impressive stuff out of the group. Been in the weight room pretty hard, and
second one forward.
Ryan Martin shared with us this week that he and Todd Thornley and James Doyle have taken it upon themselves to also get back in the weight room with the guys. He's like, if they're expected to do what we say, they should also see us putting in the work as well.
Keep the break foot clear.
I heard a phrase that relates to this about coaching, and it was, let me get this right for you, Joey.
Yeah, I was okay with that.
Before you care how much a coach knows, you have to know how much they care. And that is so important, to see a coach putting in the work next to you and being part of the brotherhood that these teams have established. You can't put a metric on that, and that's absolutely incredible for the coaching staff.
And one football coach that did that with us back in the day.
Is it your favorite coach?
Yeah, it was the juice machine. I mean, he brought it every day.
Use it.
Yeah, no, that's great though. I wonder what Ryan Martin's throwing on the bar.
Oh, I'm sure they're going
Squat,
plate
bench,
for plate.
whatever. I just want to know.
I'm sure these boys are going plate for plate with coach, and they're happy to do it.
Much better.
Caleb Geiger is checking in as well for Sione Tupo, excuse me. They're playing that prop.
Okay, team going forward.
And Caleb Geiger, a highly touted
Both of them are 50-50.
pro prospect coming into the MLR as a top 10 pick. 15 minutes in to this second half. We've seen a Seattle try. Alicia, what do you make so far of kind of the first goings here in the second half?
This is a much better half than the first, if you ask me. A lot more enthusiasm. They look like they're just a bit more spirited. They're on the same page. They're singing from the same song sheet, which is a beautiful thing. And it just feels like they have just more behind them. And if that's the words of the coaches, it's working out for both sides. If they found that pride, if they found that ability to fight to get that extra 10%, it's doing really well. It's doing a great service to both sides. They found more discipline, which is good. They do need to work on lowering their tackles on both sides, but their support has been there. Their speed to set has been there, and I think the coaches' notes that are coming in are really resonating with the team.
Let's keep just a bit more space to start. Fair enough?
Singing the same song. I love that. What do you think that song should be?
Keep your
Shipping up to Boston.
Oh, nicely done. I think so. I think
If you're a
right.
Free Jacks fan.
I think you're right. And if they continue to win, then maybe the boys are back by Dropkick Murphys.
Ooh. I don't know many songs about Seattle, I'm not gonna lie. Don't know many.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. None come to mind at the moment.
But please, if you do, use our hashtag.
Yeah.
Let us know some
Yes.
songs for Seattle.
Exactly. JP Smith, work back. This is good from the Seawolves. One more for Patty Ryan. The boys from the Pacific Northwest doing work back on the foot here on offense. Warner played back. Duncan Matthews finds Michael Hand on the outside. Michael Hand with some space. And Seattle extends its lead.
What a well-worked try. Absolutely beautiful hands from Seattle. You can just show what an easy game rugby can be if you just play to space, catch early, pass early, and just drawing in two defenders there. You could see Rousseau saying, center it, bring it on in. As a left foot kicker, those kicks from the right side can be a bit tough. So any inches to the inside of the field are a massive help to the team. They're looking to spread their lead out.
That's a great point, especially with Rousseau and some of the kicking woes today because it's not something he's used to. Let's see if he can knock it through here. It was close, but it's through. That is big time from Seattle. Nathan Sylvia checks in for Vakaswila. Free Jacks have some soul searching to do here. But what a sequence from the Seawolves. Michael Hand now his second try of the day as well. He's been really sharp as a wing on the outside. Might they be able to compound on their lead?
Still in, hold. Use it. Yeah. Move now, tackler. Good. You're fine. Stay on. Let him go. 6, let go now. No.
So 20-11 our count after an 11-6 half. And Alicia, just feels like Seattle, whatever was said at halftime, it's clearly worked for them. This has worked back here for Nathan Salmon. And the rookie does well to get some serious meters gained, even upon reversing fields. Here's Ruben Palmer in his MLR season, MLR debut season as well here with the Free Jacks. Nick Boyer was trying to play that forward, and Oscar Lennon was the only New England player in the MLR Team of the Week. A couple of weeks ago, they had 5 last week.
21 offside.
Lennon has felt like a real big focal point for this group. He was ready to get shot out of the cannon there for the Free Jacks.
Okay, keep the space.
Just way too tempting for Seattle there. Clearly offside. Clearly ball being about to be played by the 9. Again, discipline needs to stay top of mind this last quarter.
All off the feet.
Air on the line out there. Deval Kutza handles it.
Use it. Taco, move 17,
Great set of
keep going.
tackling there against Mason Pedersen.
He's doing everything he can. Stay on.
And JP Smith just to sky this one. Originally from Queenstown, South Africa.
Yes.
First start at scrum half this year. Former 2019 MLR champion and was the MLR MVP that season. For 10 USA caps for him as well. Well equipped to handle business as we approach the hydration break. Seattle, they've been very well informed here in this second half. Be back with you in a moment.
Don't get involved in that.
So a yellow card awarded to Nick Boyer on that previous infringement. So Seattle will now be a man down. And Alicia Pivotal there because now New England, they've been a man down a couple of times and it cost them some points off the board. Now an opportunity to take advantage.
Great opportunity, and just so disappointing. As Nick Boyer, you have to be shaking your head, and I think he was on the sideline there. Because as someone off the bench in such a tight game, you want to be able to inject some positivity, inject some communication, inject some fresh legs, and then to find yourself on the bench and making your team work that much harder to fill your spot. It's just not a good feeling. Not a good feeling as a teammate.
Oscar Lennon will boot this. Going to gain some territory. Duncan Matthews to hold it up. So great at the punt return style. Had a try last week during his 50th MLR appearance. 2025 team back of the year was Duncan Matthews a season ago. Mitch Wilson and company, they're really strong on the foot, especially when they're being aggressive. They're trying to find it there with Joel Hodgson. He knows a thing or two about scoring points, so second among active players. Reno Herbst tumbles down.
Play on.
Andre Warner recovers and tries to just foot that one away. Takes a Seawolf bounce, undoubtedly, and Mitch Wilson will work back.
Nothing in that. He jumped. No problem. Play on. Ball still in.
Michael Hand has a little tiptoe on the sideline. This could be good from Seattle here as well. Smith works down to Deval Kutza. The Canadian-eligible South African hooker has 13 Canadian caps.
Scrum advantage.
Knocked on. Played forward. Patty Ryan just trying to decide where to go. He gets twisted down. Manu Redlingheis, who was stirring the pot a little bit earlier today. He's since calmed down as far as the extracurriculars go. Lerome White, his first start this season, over 79 appearances in the MLR, and his second stint with Seattle, playing on 4 different teams in Major League Rugby.
Play on, charge down. No, he was just
nice hands there by Piers Von Donaldson, the second row lock. Andre Warner recovers it. Duncan Matthews gets involved there in the maul. And Lerome White pushes forward, just trying to muscle as Seattle 10 meters out of their halfway line. You can see some of these guys, despite having the hydration break 3 minutes ago, this has been a labor of love here for the first 3 minutes out of that break. Duncan Matthews takes a hard fall off that tackle. Rickard Hadding hands off to Patty Ryan.
Keep going.
Good advantage here from Seattle despite being a man down. Still got plenty of time on that penalty kill. Heck of a push forward there by Dan Creel.
No, still in.
One more back there from Callum Botcher. It's one heck of an effort here from Seattle, but they get the turnover, or New England rather gets the turnover. fans of Quincy love it. I want to implore their team just to get some momentum here going forward. They haven't had it since the first half. This second half has been absolutely blockaded here by Seattle.
Use it!
I think about the Bostonian culture. They want to be champions once again. This team's been through it as well as far as the injuries go. Somebody like Ben Lesage. Here's Rickard Hadding, though, for Seattle on the foot.
Off feet. 12 off feet.
And Andre Warner, or JP Smith, rather, will have it here.
Time is off.
As Marno Redlingice gets some medical attention.
All credit here to the Free Jacks defense.
11 and 8, yeah.
Just being unwielding in this area. It's really great to see them get their discipline right, get some connection, have some really dominant carries here. We are taking a bit of a pause for some player safety.
No, exactly. The first one was back, second one just...
Can't quite tell who is down.
That's Redlingice.
Redlingice.
Yeah.
Such a strong attacker for the Seawolves. Strong on both sides of the ball, if we're honest. Hoping that he's okay.
And that is Alex McKenzie as well for New England. It's a physical game.
I've seen no foul play here, but yeah.
Referee happy to let everyone know that we're not looking necessarily at any penalty. We're not having a review. Just more of Redlingice went down. We got to make sure that he's okay. Could it be safely removed from the field or able to play?
So Tiai Vavau will check in for Redlingice.
You can go time off. You can let one run.
The first regiment standing guard as always. Last week was the Sons of Revolution for Old Glory DC. Old Glory handed New England their first home loss in week 2. You're in the call for that one, Alicia.
It was a great game. That was a great game, a great showing by both sides. And I think New England's looking to find that same sort of fight in this game right now. They are down, looking at 11 points against Seattle's 20. And when we have just under 15 minutes left, what does that look like for both sides to be able to find these extra points?
Take a look at how we got here. The tries here from Seattle, 2 of them here in this first half. Patty Ryan played it down on this play, and Michael Hand got his second try.
All right, we're good to play.
This one controversial if you are a Free Jacks fan. Lennon working so hard to drive this one into touch.
No.
To no avail. Referee still calls the try. Hand on the outside. Just these beautiful over-the-top passes being the difference for both of these teams, and they're looking to score in the corners.
Yeah, no doubt. That's playing those outside channels. Free wings has been huge for both sides, and they kind of have played the copycat game as far as their respective tries go. If you're keeping track at home, that's 3 for Seattle and just 1 for New England today. (20-11) our mark. Good interference over top. Nicely played there by, I believe, Harrison Boyle, donning the cream cap there. Hodgson. And New England trying to regain some territory. This is well out of touch with 15 minutes to go.
Lads, give him the numbers, please. 5. Okay, stand in, please.
Coming up, it'll be Old Glory DC and Chicago. Ball way too far played forward. Ruben Palmer picks it up.
Just a high tackle. You just
For
got
the Free Jacks, Dan Creel gets him on the high tackle.
12.
Rather, it was Caleb Geiger, 16 in red, white, blue. Sweet mohawk.
There.
Geiger to throw in on the lineout. New England needs a spark. Where can they find it? Had a couple of subs as well. Let's who's out there.
Play on.
Segura, of course. So good amount of group here for the forwards. Joel Hodgson tumbling away like a rolling dirtish. Oscar Lennon, that's played out. This is good. On the outside for the Free Jacks. Nicely played forward. Seattle recovers.
Leave it. Let it go right now. Yeah. Back you go. He's in front of the last man. On the 5.
Well spotted there by referee, calling offside. We had a kick here from the Free Jacks.
Yeah, on the 5. Yeah. Keep working back.
But the player who ended up playing the ball was offside after the kick from the Free Jacks.
That was Bramer Murray.
Discipline's been good now, boys. Let's keep that up.
So Free Jacks have an opportunity here. If they can successfully get their line out coordinated.
Play on. Inside.
Played back from Murray. Nicely done on the inbound. One more for Jacob Norris. And Seattle holds it up. At least at the 5 meter.
Knock on.
Knock on indicated.
You can see the frustration from all the Free Jacks forwards here who just want to play a simple game, score a simple 5 points. Pre-called here, peel around to the front. Referee Lennon's playing dummy, but just isn't able to pull it off. Knock on the front of the line out, so we'll have a scrum to Seattle coming out.
Not fading. Okay. Last couple scrums.
So another great defensive play from Seattle. That was one thing that Alan Clark felt like they were missing over the last couple weeks. Was that breakneck holdup that you gotta have.
Use it.
See if New England can turn it over. Can Seattle get out of their own way?
Stay on, all of you. Use it. Keep the space now, White. Good. One step, one.
So nearing the final 10 minutes here, Alicia. What do you need to see out of New England to have them get back in this game?
Is it too crass to say a try?
Perhaps, but they might be. You might be onto something here.
Sign me up, coach. I'm ready to hop on the staff. I think they just need to find a way to play a really easy game. Like, I don't think the Free Jacks are known for their flair necessarily. They're known for their grit and grind that gets them over the line, and that's what they need to get back to. They just need inch by inch to go forward. And rugby is, again, an easy game. First 2 principles being go forward and support. So they need to find a way to go forward and support each other into contact.
Not cries at all. You nailed it.
One step.
Thank you.
Step.
Leaky Chentong will check in for Devon Kotza for Seattle. Aaron Pass goes by the wayside here for the Free Jacks. Tumbling down is Mitch Wilson. Wayne Vanderbeek and company trying to find themselves in a position to just go score.
Tackle.
They're back ahead of the halfway line.
Off feet.
The time is of the essence here for New England. Been a hard-fought first 4 games, but unable to come up with those wins. The only original USMLR team still playing is the Seattle Seawolves. From MLR Weekly, our friend Matt McCarthy does such a great job covering the league. That's right.
Thank you. Go ahead.
18 and 19, those victories. It feels like ever so long ago, but the Seawolves have the opportunity today to become the winningest franchise in MLR history as well as a legacy team.
Keep the 10.
Ethan McVeigh is checked in for Oscar Lennon in his relief, so he'll be working the scrum half duties. A late push here with 21 in red, white, and blue. Can they find that same spark?
Touch first and then knocked on.
Nathan Salmon couldn't find it as it reaches touch.
Thank you.
Free Jacks here just looking to pull some tricks out of their bag. Unluckily to no avail here. I just think they just need to put the ball through the hands,
6.
find a game of inches, make that into a game of meters, get further up the field, and find a way in these waning minutes to score one more try.
Falls in the awaiting arms there of Paddy Ryan. He shoulders forward, joined there by Calvin Lulamanga. And his first try as a rookie against California a couple weeks ago. Tiayi Vavau, 20 in white, is also out there. Works back for Devon Rousseau, who, given the circumstances, did really well today in all phases as the 13 and as the main place kicker today.
Backwards.
2 tries for Michael Hand, 1 for Paddy Ryan today. 7.5 to play. Seattle just trying to negotiate some of the externalities here late. Caleb Geiger to play forward. And New England might have a potential line break here on the run. Good sequence from the Free Jacks.
Leon used his arms.
Licky Chantong getting involved as well. Ethan McVeigh will work it back. Here this time for Ollie Aylmer. 19 in red, white, and blue. One more pass. That was Jared Latu finding on the outside their captain, Wayne Vanderbank. Former Golden Lion and Puma in South Africa. Qualifies for the U.S. on residency. No caps yet.
Sub, did you say? They were subbing him.
And Lerome White will be in relief as well. Charlie Walsh will come in at prop.
Good to play. Gone, we good? Okay, time is on. We're playing.
Final push here for New England. And all hunting here for Seattle today.
Play on.
And Free Jacks get it off the line out. Ethan McVeigh with some hustle and a strong arm. Free Jacks not done yet. And McVeigh loses the handle on it. He needed it cleaner, and Nathan Salmon tried to get it to him and actually did more harm than good.
Be right there.
You can see some miscommunication there at the base of that ruck. Just the frustration for the Free Jacks here. When you kick your eyes off the ball. Did so well to set early. So well to have communication around the corner, and for that to end up in a knock-on after some beautiful possession gained by the Free Jacks. Just has to be so frustrating for the whole squad.
They're on.
Look back and played forward here on the kick there from Devon Rousseau, and Free Jacks have a lot of work to do. 9-point disadvantage, trying to work themselves into this matchup late. There's only 10 matches this season in the MLR, and you need to be top 4. You can get that a number of ways, of course. Winning helps. The extra try bonus for 4 tries in a game also helps, and Seattle's just trying to get that as well here. If you get 4, you get that extra point. So Seattle a little more to play for here too. Knocked on, and Seattle turns it back over from New England.
Just gonna play the knock on. Yeah. If he lifted it, I would have rewarded him. Just a knock on.
So here's what you're thinking so far, huh? On the player of the match contenders.
Our player of the match contenders. So all Seattle, just looking at how strong they've had in their attack. Just Hand scoring 2 tries. Rousseau securing the points from the tee, and just having such a good attacking game. And Ryan just being so great around the park. Did have a card in there, but still such a great force on both sides of the ball.
Fine. Set. Stay on. Stay on. Good.
Andre Warner. Big thump
Missed it.
on that
Don't play
run.
the 9. Good.
Jeez. Forearm shiver just working ahead. Seattle has been knocking on the door all day of New England. He's trying to barrel it down as JP Smith works back. Licky Chantong, good effort there. They're into the 22 now.
Time is fine.
Trying to find that 4th try. Devon Rousseau.
Tackle!
He plays it down. Michael Hand tells somebody to get away. What a big hit. Table-topped. There was Charlie Walsh. Had Caleb Geiger underneath him. Final moments for New England to try to get that retribution here in the second half. They've been held scoreless. Alan Clark's team for Seattle has just been on the prowl this entire time. It says together we hunt on the back of their kits. They've been doing just that here in this second half.
Backwards play on.
Callum Botcher, another few good meters gained. JP Smith to Warner. And Seattle continues to work back. Devon Rousseau keeping the legs churning. Smith reverses Fields.
Play on. Yeah, penalty, high tackle.
Calvin
Penalty
Lulamanga.
only.
One of the bright spots for this youngster, for this young team.
Hold that mark.
With Rufus McLean out, Sean McNulty. It was a struggle to find that veteran presence. They've really found a lot of strength in their young core.
Coming back.
Hasn't translated in every win that they've needed, though.
High tackle.
Today might be that day to get back in front, back in the winning column with that second win.
Lads, we make a decision now. We got to play. What's up? Yeah, it's right here.
And with that, Michael Hand, our player of the match.
Okay,
Alicia.
Excellent game from Hand. Just 2 tries from the outside, just showing what a difference maker he can be for Seattle. Had an absolutely beautiful time, both defending and attacking, fielding lots of kicks on the outside, communicating into the rest of his squad, and helping to secure what is looking very much to be a Seattle win in this Week 6 matchup.
Tell me when we're good to go, please. Time on.
Pretty impressive day from Michael Hand with those 2 tries. Again, signed from Chicago last year. We saw that speed on display. He was an All-Ireland champion medalist in the 4x100 in his uni days, running track and playing club rugby at Baylor University as well. Licky Chantong and Seattle, a final push for that 4th try to get that extra bonus point. A spirited push here from Mason Pedersen and company. And Calvin Lulamanga, the rookie, found some space, took advantage, and Seattle gets the bonus point. More importantly, they will come out with the win with that dagger.
And it means everything to them. Look at this celebration. Not the best of starts from both sides, but you could see how much they wanted this extra bonus point try, which was a beautiful team try. Just worked from the edge, back inwards, and just that vision to see, yes, we're going infield on these pick and goes, but what do I see to my left? I see open base, I see green grass, I see a try line, and I'm over it.
Yeah.
And Devon Rousseau will try to put the nail in the coffin on what has been an excellent day to get Seattle back into form. You got to feel pretty positive if you're Alan Clark, especially with the injuries. Hey, this is okay. Rickard Hadding's going to have a try at it.
So everyone loves to kick.
Everybody's got a kick.
Everyone loves to kick.
And Rickard Hadding.
True barbarian style.
The left foot hammer. You're right, true barbarian style. Love it from the captain. Seattle are victors 27-11. on an exclamation from their captain. They went on to score 21 straight and unanswered from New England. What an incredible matchup, Alicia, and they're back in their winning ways.
Incredible work, and they are not traditionally a team that does well on the road, but they have found a way to get a win, 27-11 over New England on the road. Congratulations to Seattle. Excellent work from their whole squad.
Great job today, partner. You crushed it. Well, this broadcast today was brought to you by Globant, the official digital transformation partner of Major League Rugby. When technology meets passion, the unthinkable happens. For Alicia Washington and Joey Lindstrom, I'm Joey Lindstrom saying so long. Thanks for watching. Stick around for post-game interviews. But for now, Seattle, the victors, back in the winning column with their second win of the season on the road cross-country against New England.